teen pregnancy, underage drinking, substance use, crimes committed by youth. These are real issues that many families in our state are faced with every day. There is a wide range of positive youth programs in Hawaii that are focused on helping at-risk youth. Organizations such as Community Alliance for Mental Health, Planned Parenthood, Women Helping Women, Hawaii Youth Services Network, and many others support at-risk youth in the state of Hawaii. It is necessary for the future well-being of our state that these programs are perpetuated.
These programs and many individuals in the state of Hawaii are in support of a bill that will give funding to No School Hour Positive Youth Program. This bill is a Senate 390.
As an advocate for the well-being, positive development, and growth of the youth in Hawaii, Senator Chun Oakland has written and proposed a bill to appropriate funds to be expended by the Department of Human Services for non-school hour positive youth programs, an uplink administrator in the Department of Education, and other uplink staffing needs.
Uplink is a non-school hour positive youth program for middle school students that provides opportunities for students to engage in physical activities and other activities such as learning how to prepare healthy meals. This program provides service for youth for the immediate hours after school when students may be tempted to engage in risky behaviors, thereby reducing the opportunities for youth to engage in negative or harmful activities. Let's take a brief look at history to understand the needs for this bill.
Temporary Assistance for Needy Families, TANF, was enacted in years past to give direct assistance to needy families. TANF gave food stamps and provided other direct relief to families. TANF previously funded many youth development and family strengthening programs in the state of Hawaii. This funding, however, was lost due to the economic downturn of 2009. The current bill, SB 390, proposes that these programs be funded by the state.
Social workers have an obligation to advocate for oppressed population and advocate for justice. Advocating for after-school programs for youth support this social work mission.
Let's hear from a few leaders in our community and their opinions on the necessity for non-school hour positive youth programs.
I'm Susie Chun Oakland, and I'm a state senator. I chair the Human Services Committee in the Senate.
As social workers, it's important for us to advocate for those who need services in our community. Why is it important for after-school youth programs?
I think we've already found that through, our research studies have shown that during the hours after school, even before school, on the weekends, holidays, when there's time that you could get into trouble or be involved in things that are not as positive, it's important to have very good opportunities for young people to be able to explore their interests, explore what kinds of different things they could get involved with career-wise as they're growing up, to be involved in sports or other kinds of recreational or physical kinds of activities, learn how to cook, any kind of life skills. And I think after-school programs, before-school programs, weekend and holiday programs would very much support young people in all of that exploration. At the same time, I think it contributes to reducing the teenage pregnancy statistics, areas where young people can actually get involved in drugs or other kinds of more negative kinds of things. And I think overall it's just healthy for them to be able to socialize with their peers, get to know their community resources, actually help to organize things that are of interest to them. I think that's all part of leadership, and every child is a leader in his or her own right. So I think we need to be supportive of it as adults in making sure that these types of programs are available for them.
Well, I'm Stephen Morse. I have a master's in social work. I've been doing social services work for almost 45 years now. I am the executive director for a nonprofit social services organization called Blueprint for Change. We are the fiscal and administrative support organization for a statewide system of family drop-in centers called Neighborhood Places that provide families at risk of child abuse and neglect with support and strengthening services. In regards to the topic of after-school programs for children, I mean, they're critical. We need safe places for our children after school. With the number of our parents that are working 2 or 3 jobs, and sometimes both parents, having their children in safe places after school is real critical. Well, I really want to put in a plug, especially for the more remote areas of the state, like the Big Island in Puna and parts of South Kona and North Kona, where services they're really an underserved population there, and it's really scary because if you're a child walking down a remote road, sometimes you can just disappear, right? So having safe places and access to those is really important. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Marty Oliphant. I'm the Executive Director of the National Association of Social Workers, Hawaii chapter. And on the topic of after-school programs, I grew up as a latchkey kid, and my mom was always working. She had to work a couple of jobs. And I always remember thinking, oh, we're going to go home alone again. And myself and my younger sister, we've always been home alone. And fortunately for my mom, we were good kids. So we went home when we were supposed to go home. But I can see how easily we could have done other things instead. And having 2 children of my own, they're both benefited from after-school programs. And I can tell you as a parent, that is such a wonderful thing that was created and after my time as a child of my children, and it's been a blessing to have them have people who care for them, first of all, in a setting where there's youth focus. It's really important as well. So they can learn the skill sets and learn how to interact and be in a positive environment for those hours after school, which, try as we may, we don't always have childcare for them. And including children, I say children, but also youth. Middle school needs after-school programs as well as high schoolers, because I think the more programs we can offer youth throughout their tenure in school, the better, I believe. And not just for public school students, but also for kids who are in private schools. There's no after-school. If there's no after-school care, what are they doing basically without supervision? Not to say that kids need supervision all the time, but it sure is helpful for their development to have caring adults involved in their lives all the time. And so I think that's important as well. So I support any efforts on behalf of any kind of after-school program, before-school programs that will help promote development of children, safety for children, and especially just knowing that they're cared for and they feel cared for. Those are important elements for me. So thank you for this opportunity to talk.
There are many ways that social workers and individuals can advocate for or against a bill. Advocacy can be done through meeting with your elected official and expressing your viewpoints. It can also be done through submitting both written and verbal testimony for hearings in the House and Senate. As social work students and professionals, we can learn from one another about issues. By networking, sharing your viewpoints, and collaborating with social workers, advocacy efforts can become more effective. As social workers, it is our duty to advocate for policies that empower and help the oppressed. We must speak out against policies that create oppression and promote policies that help those who need it most.